Hi everyone, this is Sergio and this is the first video I'm gonna make in English for foreign buyers, foreign investors who want to buy real estate in Spain. Many people consider moving to Spain when they retire. Some people can retire early, and Spain is the perfect country to retire because we have really good weather, good food, and pretty good healthcare, which is free. So that is why many people decide to come here. So what I want to do today is share with you two important aspects that these people should consider. The first one is about getting the golden visa, which requires an investment of €500,000. And the second one is about taxation, about how rental income is taxed in Spain. So who can get a golden visa for Spain? To get eligible for the Spanish golden visa, this is what you need. You can purchase real estate in Spain worth at least €500,000. It does not have to be only one investment. You could buy different properties, but the total value needs to reach these €500,000. This is the most common way to get the golden visa, but there are other ways. You can buy public debt. You could buy €2 million worth of Spanish debt, buy shares in a company, or make a deposit in a Spanish bank of at least €1 million. But in addition to the investment, you will also need to be at least 18 years old, have no history of criminal records, you must not have been refused a Schengen visa in the past year, and you must have health insurance in Spain. This process can be done on your own, or you can hire some specific companies that help foreigners during this process. But regardless of how you do it, you need to meet these criteria. So of course you will need to do some research on the markets you want to invest in, and this is where, for example, I'm helping one person now, one citizen from Florida, the US. I'm helping him to choose properties in Valencia, and that's why I decided to make this video, because I think that some other people could be interested in the same type of service, but you need to know this information beforehand to make sure that this option is attractive to you. Remember, the visa would be issued to you, to the person that applies for it and meets this criteria, but of course your spouse, your children, as long as they are under 18 years old or are older but dependent, and finally dependent elderly parents. The golden visa which you receive at the embassy will be valid for 1 year, and during this year you will have to enter Spain and exchange your visa for a Spain residence permit. The residence permit can be renewed indefinitely, but if you want to move here and you want to actually live in Spain, you can apply for permanent residence after 5 years of continuous residency. That is at least 6 months out of a year. It's important to get the golden visa because non-residents don't have really good conditions as far as taxes are concerned when we talk about rental income, and that's why I want to continue now with the second point. Let's talk about how much foreign buyers, foreign investors will need to pay in taxes if they decide to buy real estate to rent here, but they don't have a residence. The first thing that you need to know is that if you are a non-resident, you will have to file your taxes every quarter. And this is not something that we do in Spain. We only do it once a year. But if you're a foreign buyer, foreign investor, you will have to do that. But this is a formality. The problem is how much you need to pay. And it's very different if you are European or you live in Norway or Iceland, or if on the other hand, you are from any country of the rest of the world. The differences are huge. If you're from the European Union, Norway or Iceland, you can deduct all the expenses that we do. And there are a lot of deductible costs in real estate investing, as you know, if you're from another country, and you probably do this in your own country as well. So things like depreciation, things like interest on the loan, and all the expenses that are related to the property are deductible. So these people will have the gross income, then all the deductions, and then they will have the net income, and that income will be taxed at 19%. But if you're not from the European Union and you're a non-resident, you are in trouble because you will have to pay 24%, but 24% on your gross rental income. That means that you cannot deduct any costs, and that is why tax-wise, it is really, really bad to invest in real estate in Spain if you're not looking to get the golden visa. And of course, and this is the same for everyone, you will have to pay only for those days where your house was rented. So if it was rented for 6 months or 9 months, you will have to pay for that. But that doesn't mean that the other months you don't have to pay anything. There's something called the deemed property tax, and that's what you have to pay. But this is the same as we pay here. The amount that you pay is not that much, and it will depend on the cadastral value of your property. This is something that's calculated automatically, so you don't need to perform any difficult calculations. But so you know, you'll have to pay rental income, of course, only for the months when your house was rented, and then the deemed property tax for those days where your house was empty. So long story short, in my opinion, if you are not in the European Union, it's not a good idea to buy real estate here, because the taxes are terrible for non-European residents. If you're a European resident, it's not that bad, but if you're not from the European Union, you would need to get the golden visa, so this would be a perfect thing if you really want to move here. If you need any help finding properties in Spain, or if you want any kind of advice, just email me at invernomics@gmail.com. This is it for today, and as I always say, invest wisely.